Hello everyone, this is Yoko. I've noticed that a lot of information about what's happening in China doesn't always get accurately conveyed to countries outside of China. So, I've decided to share information I've gathered in English on this channel. I gather information from various media sources, and I'd appreciate your comments on the content of my videos. Now, let's talk about the recent surge in the stock prices of Chinese real estate companies, particularly Vast Group, since September 6. While it's said to have surged, the actual price range is less than $1 Hong Kong dollar. Considering that the original stock price had dropped to almost zero, even a slight increase, such as $0.1, is a significant percentage increase. It's been reported that it surged over 124% in just 5 days. However, the stock price itself is still less than $1 Hong Kong dollar, but in relative terms, it has increased significantly. Furthermore, the stock prices of other real estate-related companies listed in Hong Kong have also been rising similarly. Now, let's look at the reasons behind this movement. According to Reuters, there is speculation that the Chinese government might announce new policies to support the real estate industry. So, what specific discussions are circulating regarding this? According to Chinese sources, roughly 3 new policies are under discussion. However, it's important to note that there is a considerable level of uncertainty about whether these discussions will lead to concrete policies. First, there's a discussion about the possibility of abolishing the guidance prices currently set when selling new real estate properties in China. The Chinese Communist Party has implemented various regulations to curb the expansion of the real estate bubble. Guidance prices for new properties are one of these regulations. The government sets guidance prices and prohibits transactions above those prices. Given the current challenges in China's real estate sector, this might seem a bit peculiar. However, Chinese authorities have long recognized that problems arise when the real estate bubble becomes too large. Hence, they have introduced various regulations to prevent its expansion. This has been something the Chinese Communist Party has been considering for a while. The Xi Jinping administration in China has introduced various regulations to prevent the bubble from further inflating. The Chinese economy is currently in a very unstable situation due to factors such as youth unemployment, a significant reduction in domestic consumption, deteriorating foreign relations, and the possibility of future trade contraction. It's evident that the Chinese economy is in dire straits. Therefore, the government is considering easing these regulations, even though it might risk causing a real estate bubble. Another possibility is relaxing regulations related to purchasing real estate in major cities. Depending on the region, there's a requirement to enroll in the local social security system, meaning you have to work for a local company. For instance, in Shanghai, you need to work for a Shanghai-based company, contribute to the local social security, and have certain qualifications to be eligible to purchase real estate. These regulations have been in place, primarily in regions where significant increases in real estate prices are expected, for a long time. However, in current discussions, some of these constraints might be relaxed, leading to the inflow of funds into regions like Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen, where future growth potential is expected, potentially causing real estate prices to rise. This essentially means accepting the bubble as a lesser evil when compared to the potential collapse of the Chinese economy. Discussions about easing regulations are happening. By the way, if these regulations were relaxed, what would happen? Money would flow from China's rural areas into major cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen. The rural areas would suffer, but it's speculated that real estate developers involved in large-scale businesses in China's major cities might see a revival. Another aspect to consider is the various speculations about the reliability of these discussions that are currently circulating. The issue is that, as you probably know, individuals in China cannot own land. So, owning Chinese real estate essentially means owning the building on the land. This raises the question of what happens to the land itself. Real estate developers lease land from local governments for a certain period, like 70 years, for residential purposes and then sell the buildings to Chinese citizens. What happens after that 70-year usage right expires is still unclear. There's speculation that the 70-year usage right might be abolished, and a permanent usage right might be granted, which would be nearly equivalent to ownership. This would mean that Chinese citizens could effectively own the land itself, potentially leading to an increase in real estate purchase activities, including the land itself. However, even if policies were to change, there's a lot of skepticism about the Communist Party actually abolishing their primary source of control, which is land ownership. Therefore, it's still speculative, and it's important to note that investing in real estate-related stocks based on these speculations carries risks. In my opinion, China is currently in a state of turmoil. The economy is deteriorating, and natural disasters are occurring frequently. This year, flooding has been particularly severe, and even now, Hong Kong is dealing with subway flooding, which will undoubtedly have a negative impact on the economy. As a result, there's a growing sense of crisis that China's economy might collapse unless significant decisions are made. In this environment, various speculations are circulating in hopes of a revival, but most of them are likely to remain speculative. Even if various regulations were relaxed to prevent a real estate bubble, it's unlikely that people would rush to buy real estate in the current state of the Chinese economy. By the way, recently, there has been increasing skepticism about the quality of Chinese real estate. People who follow Chinese information from external sources like us are aware of issues with the quality of Chinese real estate, such as poor concrete quality and inadequate reinforcement. This information is readily available on the internet. However, many people in China are unaware of these problems. Lately, the government has been pushing to complete real estate projects and deliver apartments to buyers, but the quality of completed projects is often subpar. Buildings may have issues even when they're new, and these issues are something even laypeople can easily notice. Images of such problems are widely shared within China. When people see these images, especially if they've taken out loans, they start to question the safety of buying apartments. Renting a property is an option where you can easily move if there are problems, but buying poses significant risks. Therefore, as information about the quality of real estate spreads, there's a growing awareness within China that purchasing real estate is a considerable risk. Even if the Communist Party changes its policies, it would be challenging to provide fundamental solutions. Consequently, despite some pointing out significant increases in stock prices, it resembles a fragile world. In Japan, when a company is on the verge of bankruptcy, stock prices often fluctuate wildly. An increase from 1 yen to 2 yen is considered a 50% rise. Therefore, some people might point to substantial increases in stock prices, but it's somewhat akin to a fragile porcelain world. In my opinion, the current fluctuations in China's stock prices indicate vulnerability. That's all for this discussion today. Let's meet again next time. And if you've enjoyed this, please consider subscribing to the channel and showing your support.